Rohin, Rohin, hello Rohin. I'm audible. Rashmi Magdum, all have to come in video mode. Rohin Nazaf, Rohin Nazaf, Rashmi Magdum, Pragati Chaudhary, all have to come in video mode. All have to come in video mode. Jaswina, Jaswina, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, in today's class, I want to discuss remaining points on your second unit, that is hiring process and hiring decision. I already discussed on that what is the meaning of that hiring, definition to the hiring, then what is the difference between hiring and appointment, discussed already. What is that regular hiring? Okay, then what is that temporary hiring, then full-time, part-time hiring, and today I want to discuss on apprentice hiring, contractual hiring, outsourcing, then existing post or new post to be created, need analysis, then cost analysis, job analysis, like that. Remaining points I need to discuss in today's class. Before going to start, okay, uh, today I want to recall or recollect remaining points related to what I discussed in last class. Rohin, come in video mode.
Sir.
Yeah, Rohin, tell me
Yes, sir.
what is the meaning of that hiring?
Yes, hiring, as you said, that it is defined as that process of finding the prospective candidates for filling actual
True,
or projected vacancies in an organization.
true. Then what's the definition of that?
Definitions is the process of searching for prospective candidates or the employees and stimulating them for applying for jobs of the organization.
True. Then what is the difference between hiring and appointment?
So hiring, we can say lots of jobs will be there, for that we hire them, whereas appointment is the for a specific positions of the
Correct.
organization.
What's that regular hiring?
So regular hiring, in case we can say that hiring the candidates on the regular basis,
Okay.
uh, means that all the workers are provided with a legally recognized employment relationships, uh,
Okay.
and that every effort is made to ensure that employment of the candidate should be continuously, sir.
Okay. Rashmi Magdum. Rashmi Magdum. Jaswina. All have to come in video mode. Otherwise, I will put you as absent. All have to come in video mode. Okay. Rohin, tell me, what is that exactly temporary hiring? Please unmute your speaker. Uh, Unmute your speaker.
Yes, sir. So temporary full-time employees, we can say that are scheduled for 8 hours per day, sir, Monday
Okay.
through Friday, but expected to be employed for at least 3 months, but less than 1 year, sir.
Okay. Then what is that full-time hiring?
Full-time employment or
As per
hiring, we
the
can say
Factories
that
Act
employment.
1948, what I mentioned, full-time hiring means?
Yeah, 12 hour shift, sir, are 3 days per week, sir.
Huh?
Thus 36 hours is always full time, sir. Compensating slightly for the greater increasing fatigue which a person experience on the long shifts, sir.
True. Then what's that part-time hiring?
So part-time workers compensation of job opportunity are based on the number of factors, sir, including compensation benefits and weekly hours, sir.
Okay.
It's not like whatever full-time hiring workers will get the work,
Huh?
the part of it the part-time workers will
These are
get,
the
sir, not
part-time
all the work.
employees, while full-time employees are the permanent employees, you can call.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So maybe there is again some differences are there, like depend on the working hours. Okay, how their salary is dependent, how
Mm.
salary is going to fixed by the HR manager for to the full-time workers and part-time workers. So depend on their salary structure, depend on their working hours, depend on their working condition. Okay,
40 hours or 30 hours
yes,
per minimum per week, sir.
30 to 35 hours per week to the part-time.
Per week.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
that is needed. So I already discussed up to here, and in today,
Yes, sir.
I need to start that apprentice. Apprentice means what exactly this is? You heard this that apprentice is what? What is that exactly?
So apprentice, we can say it's like in the field of professionalism, sir.
Huh? In the field of
Uh, ex- professional experienced people are hired here.
huh? Why this
In the
apprenticeship is needed?
apprentice is needed for the career development, sir.
Okay.
Here we can learn lots of things.
Yes. This is only to learn.
Yes, sir.
It is
To
a
get the
learning
knowledge and
period.
the experience.
Yes, for the
To
purpose
get the
to
knowledge and
learn
experience.
and to gain knowledge and
Knowledge. Yes,
to,
sir.
for the purpose to take that experience, this apprenticeship hiring is very important to learn something about the organization to the employee. That's what that's coming under the apprenticeship. Okay, apprenticeship is an agreement between a person and apprentice. That person is called as apprentice, who wants to learn a skill, and an employer who needs a skilled worker. See, I am very specific in words. That is, apprentice is an agreement. This is an agreement between the apprentice and the employer who wants to learn. Means apprentice person is willing to work or learn a particular skill, and the employer who needs a skilled worker for the purpose to accomplish any given task, earning while learning. Okay. Apprenticeship is a proven industry based learning system that combines on the job experience and technical training to produce a certified journey person. This is one of the journey between the employer and the apprentice. So, this is one of the major step while they are going to earn, while they are going to learn, right? Including learning, earning is also there. And it is one of the major certified uh, journey to the uh, apprentice person. So, or a person. So, it is very useful for a person to go for that any future job. So, upon completion of the specified training period, okay, maybe related to any production, maybe related to the packaging, maybe related to the labeling, for the related to the recruitment, maybe related to the selection, maybe related to fix up the salary structure, whatever that might be, depend on their particular core. Okay, depend on their branch. Okay, depend on their qualification. They need to choose that. Upon completion of the specified training period, apprentices receive a certificate of qualification. Means in apprentice you are completed this much of experience, and as per the satisfaction of the higher authority or employer of the XYZ company. So like this, that certificate is given by the employee to the apprentice or a person. On average, 85% of the apprentices 2 to 5 years of training is spent in the workplace. Especially this apprentice is not less than 2 years. You need to, as an apprentice or a person, you need to spend your time at least minimum 2 to 5 years of experience is needed in any specific organization. Then only that is called as apprentice. But there should be whatever maybe salary or any particular reward should be given by that particular organization, then only that is called as apprentice. That's what earning while learning. So on average 85% of the apprentices, okay, maybe again 15% maybe they will work within 1 year or within 2 years they will take experience and they will go to another organization. That is not then. I'm talking about 85% of the apprentices, 2 to 5 years of training is spent in the same particular workplace. The rest is spent at a training institution. So this is very, very important for our exam point of view. They will ask 3 marks questions separately. That is, what is apprentice or what is apprenticeship? Apprentice is a person, one who is going to start his particular work from any organization, and along with the earning, they need to spend their particular work. Okay, they need to start the particular career. At least they have to work in that organization minimum 2 to 5 years, depend on the again policies of that particular organization. So depend on that apprentice is dependent, but apprenticeship is, those are the rules and regulations framed by the organizations to give such a kind of apprentice work to the apprenticer. Okay, so that is what that is coming into the apprentice. Then next one is contractual. You know already, contract act. What is a contract act? It is an agreement between two parties where one person is willing to work by with the help of the other person, means by following such a kind of rules and regulations. Okay, maybe they will take some particular memorandum, means you have to work at least 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, like that. So depend on that particular contract. Okay, whatever the employees are going to work, whatever the hirings you are going to hire in the organization, means you should take work from them at least 2 to again 5 years or 1 year or 6 months. Maybe that is depend on what kind of organization is there, what kind of that particular employer is there, what kind of particular that work is there. So depend on that. Okay, they will hire the particular employees on the basis of contractual basis. So after the completion of that particular work, they may again give such same work to the employees, or otherwise, okay, after completion of that contract, okay, again they are not going to continue that. Maybe or may not be. That such a kind of authority is there in employer hand. That is coming under the contractual. As part of its staffing plan, the employer may hire independent contractors. An independent contractor is not legally considered an employee. However, therefore, the rights and responsibilities the employer has toward the independent contractor are different from those for its employees. Classifying and using a person as an independent contractor frees the employer of the tax withholding, tax payment, and benefits obligations it has for employees. It may also reduce employer exposure under laws and regulations governing the employment relationship. See, there should be no any such a kind of particular exact benefit. They are not going to get that. But these particular employees, we can call that these are also a part-time employees. All contract employees are not permanent employees. Those are part-time employees for the purpose to finish that any given task to the employer. So depend on that, they will hire the employees, and they will give that particular salary monthly, and that is not whatever permanent employees they will get such a kind of facility, means full salary including tax and whatever they are going to deduct. Okay, then everything that kind of facility is not there in the any contractual. Means here is no any PF facility given by the employee to the employee. I mean, there is no any gratuity. Take an example, right? So like that, there is a lot of difference between permanent employees and contractual employees governing the in exchange for these advantages of using independent contractors. The employer substantially loses the right to control the contractor, in particular, while the employer can still control expected results. The employer cannot dictate where, when, or how work is to be done. They're not going to dictate where is the exact work is there, when we need to finish that, and how work is to be done. Not like that. Thus, the employer loses control over the means, work process, tools, equipments, work schedules, and so forth, by which the work is performed by the employee. For example, a person is more likely to be considered an independent contractor than an employee in the following situations. Means working in a distinct occupation or business, working without supervision or oversight from the employer. See, what I mentioned, those are very, very important as per according to your syllabus wise. Okay. See, you need to mention these points to your exam. Working in a distinct occupation. Okay. And next point is working without supervision. Means you are on contract basis, you need to finish that work without any supervision also. Then third, paying one's own business and travel expenses. They maybe give, maybe they will give or may not give. Okay, setting one's own work hours. They need to set their own working hours. So depend on that, they need to attend in that time, in the particular time, and they need to finish in the time. Uh, then possessing a high degree of skill, using one's own tools, materials, and office, working on a project with a definite completion date, working on relatively short projects, and being paid by the project or commission rather than by the time spent. Instead of spending more time in the organization, they have to work and take that opportunity. So this is what coming under the contractual basis. No need to discuss on this particular point. Then outsourcing, very, very important. What that outsourcing is? Outsourcing of work functions can be defined as the transfer of a business process to an external organization. Whatever the work related issues are there, problems are there, if you are unable to handle such a kind of any organization, you can take that as a advantage by external organization. This is a more drastic step than simply using independent contractors or temporary employees. Increasingly, organizations are outsourcing their hiring activities, meaning they use outside organizations to recruit and select the employees. Means if you are unable to any select any employees by your organizations, in that time you can give such a kind of authority and give that particular work to the outside the organization. Okay. Means outside the organization means maybe there are some again companies are there, they are the particular recruiters and they are going to select those employees, and they will send such a kind of employees to their work, means to their organization. Although there are variations of staffing outsourcing, in some cases, an organization's wholly sits decision making authority to the vendor. Means they are giving such a kind of workload to the vendor. Why might an organizations do this? Why this is recently some organizations are not going to take care about the recruitment? Why these people are giving such a kind of work to the vendor? First, it may believe that the vendor can do a better job of identifying candidates than the organization itself can do. Means for the purpose to take that as an for the purpose to finish this particular recruitment and selection, organization may take more particular time. Instead of doing their particular organization work, okay, you need to search for your particular candidates. So it may take more time. Instead of wasting the time, you have to give such a kind of particular any recruitment and selection work to the vendor. So it becomes very easy for vendor to select appropriate candidate to the organization, and without wasting time, it is one of the time saving also. So they can select proper candidate to the exact organization. This is particularly true for small and mid-sized companies that lack a professional HR function, one who are not handling any HR functions properly. For them, especially what small and mid-sized companies are, especially medium scale and small scale industries, they are going to give such a kind of work to the vendor. Second, in labor shortages, an organization may not be able to recruit enough employees on its own, so it may supplement its recruiting or selection efforts with those of a vendor that specializes in staffing for the purpose to recruit. Okay, and they will give such a kind of particular work to the vendors. Finally, outsourcing may also have advantages for legal compliance, as many vendors maintain their own procedures for tracking compliance with equal opportunity laws. Even as a vendor also, they need to follow the rules and regulations, and they should intimate such a kind of all the rules and regulations to the all the candidates, what kind of particular rules and regulations are there, what kind of work is there, which company as a candidate they need to work, everything in the time of recruitment only. As a vendor, they need to explain in briefly to the candidates. So this is what that is coming into the outsourcing of hiring. One form of outsourcing is when organizations outsource staffing activities. Of course, many organizations outsource more than staffing activities. Technical support, database management, customer service, and manufacturing are common examples. A growing number of computer chip makers such as IBM, Intel, and Motorola contract with outside vendors to manufacture their chips. Often use these companies are forces. See, one who are not having such a kind of particular capability, one who are having not such a kind of particular man force. So the thing is, in that time, they can give such a kind of any work related any work to the again vendors also for the purpose to manufacture their particular product. So that is also coming under the outsourcing. Then next point, that is existing post or new post to be created. It is one of the major particular work of that any HR managers. That is, they need to take care about the existing post, total how many employees are working now. Okay, what are the posts are already filled, they need to take care about all those posts. And if you are going to create some more post in the organization on the basis of the need, take an example. Okay, maybe HR manager is there, maybe take an example, if you are thinking you are the HR manager, right, and maybe 500 employees are working under you. You are the only one, it becomes very difficult to handle all the employees data. So as an HR manager, you need to think to recruit two more assistant HR managers under you. Okay, so like that, that should be that particular authority is there with you as an HR manager. You need to discuss with a higher authority. Then you need to create that any post to the organization as per the need of the organization. So the requirement is to either recruit for a new post or to refill an existing post. You can uh, again create any new posts, or you can fill that any existing posts also, depend on the openings of the organization. One has to check the following aspects before putting the vacancy in the public domain, before going to leave any such a kind of openings in the public medias. Okay, you need to take care about the some following points, that is the role or function still required? Could the role or function be carried out by redistributing duties to other staff? Could the duties be outsourced? Cost implications, you need to think on that cost implications. Is the post full time or part time? Okay. So, does the job description already need updating or no? Okay, so you need to concentrate on these all points, then only there is a meaning to the while you're going to create any a new post or any vacancies in the organization. That's what HR manager plays a very important role, and HR person is HR this one manager is the next to the higher authority. So that much of authority is there in HR manager. So as an HR manager, think like you're the higher authority, and for the purpose to smooth run of your organization, okay, you have to think about each and every vacancies, what is the need, you have to create those particular vacancies, then you can recruit, maybe by taking outsourcing, or maybe if you have that capability, then you can start by hiring yourself, like that. What particular step you are going to take, that is there in your hand. Then next point is need analysis as per the hiring. Okay, need analysis. What is the need to the organization? Total, how many openings still those are vacant? Okay, then what is the need of present and future? Okay, there are day by day lot of competition is there. Depend on the competition, we need to maintain that quality also, and along with the quality, we need to follow the rules and regulations by the government. So that's depend on the what kind of particular organization is. Okay, whether we are coming under the public company or private company, whether a particular company is coming under a large scale, medium scale, or small scale company. Okay, so depend on that, you need to analyze the need. Okay, analyze what kind of particular employees you are looking for, how we are going to create such kind of any jobs. Okay, depend on the need, you need to analyze that. Okay, that's what is coming under the need analysis. There is a saying that goes as follows, like, if you don't know what you want, then you are unlikely to get it. This is so true in recruitment. Another expression which is very apt for this topic is, start with the end in mind. This is exactly the idea behind need analysis. You should before aware about that. huh? Then only you can analyze that when there is an end. Okay, you can analyze that again, what is the need of that any organization is. Need analysis is the process of identifying and evaluating need. See that some sample definition below. In a community or other defined population of the people, the identification of needs is a process of describing problems of a target population and possible solution to these problems. Is there any such a kind of problem in the organization or no? So depend on that problem. By analyzing that particular problem, you need to give that for proper solutions. Means you need to search some candidate, you need to hire some particular candidate. That is what coming under the need analysis. A need has been described as a gap between what is and what should be, as per according to Witkin et al. In one paper in the year of 1995. Okay, they wrote one paper and they published it in journal. Okay, on that, as per according to this person and some authors at all, means again there are some authors are there. Okay, uh, along with some authors, Witkin explained that a gap between what is there in presently, and what should be in the means future, what is there now, and what how you should expand that. Okay, how what should we should think about the future, what should be. Okay, that is the gap is called as need. Then next particular definition by Revere in the year 1996, a gap between real and ideal that is both acknowledged by community values and potentially amenable to change. For the purpose to change the organization, okay, you need to identify that it is a gap between real and ideal. Then next, MacLeap in the 1987 explained that may be different from such related concept as wants, something people are willing to pay for, or demands. So this is also one of the major definition as per the author. that definition to the need. Need analysis focus on the future, no doubt. When there is a need, okay, means we can tell that there is a future. When there is a future, again we have to think about the what is the need about the organization. If you want to expand your business, okay, such a kind of employees are also needed. So you need to concentrate on that, and it focuses on the future or what should be done rather than on what was done, as is the focus of the most program evaluations. Some people use the related term needs assessment, need analysis, and need assessment. Both are similar. The life of a recruiter parallels that of the salesperson. Recruiters need to develop a needs analysis strategy when recruiting sales candidates, just like salespeople do when pursuing prospects. Lecturing candidates on how wonderful the company is does not bring about excitement anymore. So these are some explanations related to need analysis. Then next one is very important, that is cost analysis. What is it exactly cost analysis is? So going to hire any candidate, what is the cost of that? Okay, that is as per according to your budget only, within the budget only, or it is more expensive. Okay, you need to analyze that. Okay, that's coming under the cost analysis. It is in process. Cost analysis is a process. So what kind of particular costs are there? Okay, what are the expenses are there? Okay, if you are hiring within your organization, or you are taking use of that vendors, okay, what is the total package, what are the expenses are there, okay, what kind of employees you are looking for, okay, depend on these all points, okay, you need to analyze that cost analysis of your company. Even this is depend on the revenue. If there is a proper profit is there, then you can expense. If there is no profit, then becomes very difficult to manage about the future life of the organization. So for the purpose to, okay, expand your business, you need to think in proper manner, analyze that what kind of particular expenses are there, okay, for the purpose to hire, what kind of particular expenses are there, you need to work on that, you need to maintain that list. So depend on these all points, okay, you need to uh, analyze yourself, okay, what is the total expense, what is the revenue, depend on that, okay. You need to start that calculation. It is the process of developing and analyzing cost data from separate business elements and estimating incremental or total resources needed to support current and future business strategies. A decision making tool used to evaluate and prioritize resource needs at based on cost estimates and their expected return on investments. That is in the form of revenue. There are many different metrics that can useful for determining an accurate assessment of total cost. For recruitment channels such as job boards or agency recruiters, employers can look to the cost per hire and then overlay that cost with an evaluation of long-term performance and quality of hire. Additional data points that are often used in regards to cost include the total cost per hired employee across an entire company, the total compensation per employee, and the total recruitment expenditures for every new hire entire particular time frame. See, this is very very important. Cost analysis include, as an HR manager, you need to concentrate on the what is the income. Then for the purpose to hire any single employee, what is the cost of that, okay, you need to calculate that, okay, you need to finalize that place, okay, then everything you need to analyze that data, what are the expenses are there, you need to write that in detail, then only it becomes very easy for you to maintain that your organization cost. If expenses are more, then again it is a burden on the organization. So you need to concentrate on the each and every particular aspects. That's what this is also one of the major particular role of the HR manager to hire any employee. Next one is job analysis. Your first unit I already completed on job analysis. You know already. Job analysis means I want to ask some questions to some student. Yes, Rangoli. Rangoli, come in video mode. Rangoli. Rangoli. Ashwini Jirli. Come in video mode.
Sir.
Ashwini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, come in video mode.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir. I'm in video mode only.
Yeah. Tell me,
Yes, sir.
what is that job analysis? I already completed in first unit. Job analysis means what?
Yeah, sir. So it is a procedure to identify the
Your voice is not clear.
content of a job.
Your voice is not clear.
Hello. Hello,
Hello.
sir. Am I audible?
Job analysis means
sir,
what?
Job
Very
analysis
simple
is
question.
the process of. Yeah, so job analysis is the process of gathering and analyzing the information about the human requirement
Okay.
in the organization, sir.
Rashmi Maghdum.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Come in video mode. Tell me,
Yes,
what
sir.
does job analysis means? How it is
Sir,
linked to hiring?
hiring, yes, sir. Job analysis is basically studying the job, sir, in order to improve them, in order to improve so that we get to know the job requirements, sir.
Okay.
We know that, yes, sir. We have to analyze the jobs and we have to study the jobs in order to cope up with the job requirements.
Okay. How you are going to link this job analysis to the hiring? Why this is very important to the HR manager to think about the hiring and why they should work on that job analysis?
So working on job analysis is very important because hiring basically happens on the basis of vacancies, sir. And for vacancies, job posts are required. And for job posts, we need to do the job analysis of job posts, sir, in order
Okay.
to bring in good men. Best man required for the job, sir.
True. Rohin, Nadaf.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me what's the job analysis? I already completed in first unit.
Yes, sir. Job analysis is
Your voice is not clear.
Sir, job analysis is job description and job prescription. What you said, sir. Job analysis is the study of.
Sorry. What is that job analysis?
Sir, it's the process of studying and collecting the information relating to the
You
operation
mentioned
and
job description plus
job description and one more is there, sir. I don't
job
remember.
specification.
Specification. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Job description
Yes, sir.
plus job
Description and
specification is equal to
specification.
job analysis.
Job analysis. Yes, sir.
Description in the sense, what is that exactly?
It describes the related information needed for the organization or the company of
Like
the
what
employees.
are
sir.
those?
It describes overall. It describes features of it, sir. Features we can say.
What kind of features I'm asking?
Like, sir, it is on the basis to determine the kind of information to be extracted from the applicant, sir. Past employees, or from various other sources we can say, sir.
Job description means what I am asking. What are the elements of the job description I am asking?
Elements of job description.
Don't explain
sir.
by reading.
So job description sir, describes
What are those
knowledge,
elements?
skills, abilities.
Abilities?
skills, knowledge.
Skills, knowledge.
Yes, sir. It describes the whole